Hello there. You're watching SciTech and I'm Ashwarya with you. The sun has regular outbursts, the effects of which we feel on Earth. These explosions are unlikely to wipe out humans for now. Instead, they could block signals that facilitate communication and navigation. So, what are these explosions? Let us find out. March 13, 1989. Canada's Quebec suffered an electrical power blackout, briefly sending its residents into the dark ages. Who would have thought that the sun, about 150 million kilometers away, was responsible for the blackout? Solar flares are explosions caused by the sudden release of pent up magnetic field. When this happens, protons, electrons, and heavy nuclei heat up and accelerate in the solar atmosphere, emitting radio waves, X-rays, and gamma rays. According to NASA, the energy is comparable to millions of 100 megaton hydrogen bombs exploding at the same time. Can you imagine that? Scientists classify solar flares into three. X-class flares are significant events that can trigger radio blackouts around the whole world. M-class flares are relatively mild. These medium-sized flares typically trigger brief radio blackouts. C-class flares are minor events and don't cause much damage. The light from a solar flare can take about 8 minutes to reach Earth. They tend to disturb a part of the upper atmosphere between 80 and about 600 km above the surface called the ionosphere. This layer is essential for radio wave propagation, which find use in navigation and communication. During intense solar flares, ionization is produced in the lower layers of the ionosphere of the Earth's sunlit side. The radio waves come into contact with electrons in the lower layers of the ionosphere. As a result, they lose energy, causing the signals to become degraded or completely absorbed. This leads to a radio blackout. Sometimes solar flares are accompanied by another type of explosion called coronal mass ejection, or CME. The eruption causes the sun to burp bubbles of superheated gas called plasma. The sun, as you might know, is a ball of plasma. If CME hits Earth, it can unleash a geomagnetic storm. It can disturb the protective magnetic field surrounding the Earth. These events may trigger blackouts and damage communication satellites. CMEs are responsible for lighting up the skies in shades of green, red, blue, and purple. They do so by interacting with gases in the atmosphere. These magnificent lights are called auroras. Over 25,000 space rocks or asteroids are in the Earth's vicinity. The possibility of them hitting Earth in the future cannot be ruled out. So, space agencies are keeping a close eye on them. Why are nations wary of asteroid impacts? Let us find out. An explosion stronger than a nuclear blast rocked Russia's Chelyabinsk in 2013. The shockwave shattered glass windows. The event sent hundreds of tons of debris into the atmosphere. Over 1,500 people required medical attention. Humans weren't behind this explosion. Instead, it was the work of a small asteroid measuring roughly 17 to 20 meters and weighing 10,000 metric tons. It entered the Earth's atmosphere at high speed. According to NASA, it broke down into fragments called meteorites in the atmosphere before falling onto the surface. The asteroid behind the explosion was small in size. One can only imagine what an enormous space rock can do. For example, some scientists believe an asteroid, which is about 10 to 15 kilometers wide, ended the reign of dinosaurs and wiped out 75% of Earth's animals. But how does an asteroid collision affect life? Scientists are yet to understand that, but they have a few theories. They speculate that an asteroid impact could trigger large earthquakes. It could send large quantities of dust into the atmosphere, blocking the sun. The dust could take months to settle. The event could ignite wildfires, shrouding our planet in smoke and limiting sunlight. This affects plant growth, which then impacts the entire food chain. To keep our only homes safe from an impact, space agencies keep a close eye on near-Earth objects or NEOs. Asteroids or comets whose orbits approach the Earth are classified NEO. One such object is Bennu, which is roughly 500 meters wide and 77.5 million metric tons heavy. It orbits the Sun, completing a rotation in 2.1 years. Bennu inches close to Earth every 6 months. It is predicted to come within 7.5 million kilometers of Earth's orbit. However, the chances of Bennu colliding with Earth are tiny. The odds of it happening are just 1 in 2,700, predict scientists.
And that is all for this episode of SciTech. You can send us your valuable feedback on the email ID flashing on your screen. Also, download India Science app or visit our website www.indiascience.in for more such videos. And don't forget to follow us on our social media handles as well. And before signing off, here is Fact of the Day for you. Bye for now.
Bennu is ancient. It formed in the first 10 million years of our solar system's history, over 4.5 billion years ago.